Well, it's a fun day to say thank you right before Thanksgiving, of course, tomorrow. And we've been spending it saying thank you to what was a really great Mariners season. 2025 season is one that I think will be remembered for a long time. It didn't end, unfortunately, the way we all wanted it to. But there's a tremendous amount of positive and great memories and everything else that took place leading up to the end of this year and the postseason run and all of it. And Kevin Martinez, Mariners president, comes in to chat a little bit about it. Kevin, good morning. And I don't think you've ever actually been on the Brock Salk Show. So this is
my debut.
This is your debut?
Thank you for having me.
All those years at Syracuse. I know this is what you were preparing for.
I'd rather be in your chair, actually.
If you want to interview me anytime, I promise we can try to make that
absolutely
happen. This is really your first year in the gig, right?
Yes.
And sitting in this chair. What was 2025 like for you?
Well, what a privilege when I was given the opportunity to step into the role back in October of 24. And, being with the organization for over 3 decades, Mike, having the opportunity to lead and work with the talented women and men that are over at T-Mobile Park every day was something that I always dreamed of. And to be able to step into the role at this time, because when you're there every day and you see the amount of effort and passion and care that not only on the business side but on the baseball side too, I really believed in my heart we were on the doorstep of our organization's greatest moments. And boy, we were 8 outs away from making our first World Series, but that day's coming, and it's coming really, really fast. And so having the chance to step into this role at this time in the organization's history is incredible opportunity, and I couldn't love this city and this organization more, and it's just a great time to be a Mariner.
You might be the wrong person to ask this question of, because your answer might just be, well, I always thought so. But When did you know? When did you get a sense that this team had a possibility of being special? Was there a moment in time where you're like, oh, well, this feels and looks a little bit different than maybe we've seen before?
I've shared this story with a couple of people. It was actually 2 springs ago when we were down in Peoria, in Arizona, and talking with Julio and Cal and Luis and some of the other players. For me, having, again, been here for over 3 decades, it felt very familiar to the teams of the 90s, where you had not only multiple all-stars on a team that were really good on the field, but just really good people that enjoyed playing with each other. And I think whether it's sports or business, when you enjoy the people you work with, great things will come from that, because you'll always be collaborating, even in the downtimes, and you'll be talking about work. And that's where the really impactful ideas can come from. So I saw the way the players were interacting with each other, and I said, there's something special happening here. And we really saw that manifest this season. And again, I think we're just on the path for sustainable success, and that's what has us all incredibly excited.
It was a unique atmosphere at the ballpark. I talked about it a bunch of times on the show. I've been to plenty of postseason baseball games.
Yeah.
Most of them are anxiety-ridden. They're almost a miserable experience until the very end, when it ends the way you hope. There was still plenty of anxiety throughout this postseason, as there should be. Baseball wouldn't be baseball without it. But I have never experienced a party atmosphere during the postseason quite like I felt at T-Mobile during those games. Where does that come from?
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you saying that, because being tucked up here in the Northwest, not a lot of people just pass through Seattle and take in a game. And we started to hear that during our final homestand. We had some national media come in as we were about to clinch. And you'll remember we had the Dodgers in for 3 games. We had a lot of media from LA. We had Dodger season ticket holders. And that word that you said, that you used, party, execs from the NFL, the NBA, they came during the postseason. They said, we haven't experienced a baseball game like this. And it's the result of all the talented folks back at T-Mobile Park, the women and men that work on our experience. And I couldn't be more proud of the Mariners baseball experience. There's a lot of thought, a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time from the moment a fan walks through our gates and all the little moments in between. And, our folks do it better than anybody, in my opinion. And to hear that feedback coming throughout the month of October was really rewarding. And it is a party.
Well, and certainly in October, it's so hard. I mean, it's one thing. I was there for the the clinch night with the Cal home runs, and that was a party.
Yeah.
And it was a party. I mean, you're playing the Rockies, and they're, unfortunately way out of it. And you get the clinch, and Cal's hitting extra home runs just for fun.
Right.
That's supposed to feel like a party.
Right.
But I really felt like having that atmosphere in the building during the postseason, not only was it fun for the fans,
right,
I actually think it may have helped the team, because we know that pressure can seep out onto the field when the fans are gripping it tight, and sometimes players will grip it tight. I felt like it helped them stay loose.
Well, there's no question the fans played a major role, and you heard that all season long from our players. We look for opportunities to elevate moments, make them even bigger, and then trying to build a moment. And there are different ways you can do that. And I think our fans are accustomed to that. And look, the Seattle sports community is one of the best sports communities in this country, and the way it rallies around its teams, and they do it full throat, and they do it with great energy. And if you're strategic about how you look at a game and the moments in a game, and how you can either elevate or try to nudge the crowd to do that, we've seen that, and our fans don't even. We saw it. They don't even need to be nudged. They do it on their own, and absolutely, our players feel it. And what was really rewarding was to hear our players throughout the course of this season acknowledge what a difference it makes. And I think T-Mobile Park this year is on the map as one of the best experiences in sports.
Well, there's some pretty good ones coming up. I'm glad you bring up this year, because 2026 tickets are available, single game tickets.
Just
they're on sale at mariners.com/tickets if you want to reserve your spot. Big games, Randy Johnson's jersey retirement on May 2nd.
That's right.
Mariners' 50th anniversary weekend will be August 7th through the 9th. And you can get seats today at mariners.com/tickets.
Yeah.
The Randy thing is a great way of looking back at the Ichiro moment that we had this past year.
Right.
Again, I don't know whether you can draw a parallel or a causation from, hey, Ichiro's number got retired to this team, ended up having a special season to remember. But do you think there was an effect, and continues to be an effect, just of Ichiro and the history of the Mariners in general?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. You know this. Ichiro's there every home game, and he's working out with the team, and it starts in spring training. He works out with the team every day in spring training, and there's such a respect from our players towards Ichi and Ichiro. Nobody respects the game of baseball more than Ichiro. And to have him as a mentor, he and Julio have a tremendous relationship. There's no doubt. And when Ichiro, during his speech, looked over to the dugout and said to the team, "You have an incredible opportunity right in front of you, seize the moment," it resonated. And you heard our players use it. We used it throughout September and October, and it was organic from Ichiro to the team. Next year is going to be incredibly special to celebrate 50 seasons. And you mentioned that 50th weekend that we're doing.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, it's on August 8th. I think August 8th will be one of the greatest games in our franchise's history in terms of ceremony and pageantry. And you talk about the environment at our ballpark. I think that's something our folks do incredibly well in terms of when a player has a number retired or goes in the Hall of Fame. Like, those are unforgettable memories that people share for generations. And on August 8th, we will bring back the top 50 players. And you might remember when Major League Baseball did the All-Century team, and they did this wonderful pregame ceremony at the All-Star game. Well, imagine that built all around Mariners baseball. So there's a fan vote right now, mariners.com/50, where fans can go and vote. There'll be a blue ribbon panel of people who have covered the Mariners. They'll have.
As a matter of fact, I got my email about that.
Maybe it's not a blue ribbon.
It doesn't
panel
sound that blue ribbon
that
at
blue.
all. It sounds kind of like they're just letting anybody vote on this thing.
If you're on the list,
yeah.
All right.
Oh, I'm going to be thinking through that. I'm going to take that vote very seriously.
Absolutely. And our Mariner Hall of Famers.
I have a write-in for Ryan Langerhans.
Okay. That's a deep cut there. But and so that I think is going to be one of those days that you'll want if you're a Mariners fan and you have shared Mariners baseball across generations, or even if you're new to the game, it'll be wonderfully educational. I think the pageantry will be incredible. It'll be a special day.
So you mentioned the 30 years plus with the Mariners, 3 decades with the Mariners. You're a great historian on the team. I mean, you're almost the new Adamak with Randy Adamak.
Can't fill that man's shoes.
No, I know, but with him not there every day. So help me put this year into context with what would stand out as probably the other 2 great seasons of the Mariners, 1995 and 2001. Not that there weren't other very good seasons, but these 3 where the team reached the ALCS. Help me put this season into context with the other 2.
Well, again, I keep referring to the people that I work with every day on both the baseball and business side, because if you could be a fly on the wall and see the passion and the care and the intelligence that both groups go about it every day. And we came up short a couple of years by 1 game of making the postseason, and that's incredibly frustrating. And we know you have to get it done. You have to do what it takes to get it done. But Mike, to make it to the postseason and to win that incredible Game 5, 15-inning game against the Detroit Tigers, and then to advance and then to play that incredible American League Championship Series, there was a lot of pride in the fact that, okay, we've moved it forward in a meaningful way, and we can see the future. We can see that sustainable success that I talked about. Our baseball ops team has done an incredible job in drafting and developing players. Our organization hadn't had that back in those days, and to see the talent that's coming forward, So
I wasn't here for those. Does this feel, and I'm sure in 95, the end of the 95 season, the end of the 01 season, there was a lot of hope that the team would continue to be really great for years to come. But was there the same level of underlying organizational health that the team has right now?
Not to this extent. I mean, you had a blue chipper, player, or that kind of had the spotlight on, but there are so many and that's to me, that's been the biggest difference. The job that Scott Hunter and Tim Stanton and the guys who are focused on the draft and then the development that goes on is extraordinary. So to me, that's what has me so fired up about the next 5 to 10 years for this organization.
Well, I'm impressed. I know you were in your bunker for a little while after the season ended, and for good reason. Like, you got to take some time and process how it all went down.
Right.
But now it is time to start thinking about the success of the season and celebrating it, and then what happens next. And again, single game tickets on sale, mariners.com/tickets for all the big events. I'm told that there will be a cruise for the Nailers Sailors. Is that true? A special Puget Sound Elliott Bay cruise for Nailers Sailors.
I like it. Keep it. You had another one
the
years ago.
Canoe.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did that go over?
Never happened.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
seems like a miss on our part.
Former marketing director for the Mariners was never willing to take any of my canoe suggestions seriously. But,
so we're on the Nailers Sailors now.
Well, I like the Nailers Sailors.
We'll workshop that.
Maybe an opportunity to get them out in a boat together somewhere with Josh and see what happens.
I think if it was up to Josh, we would do something around Tucker.
Dude, he's a fan.
Yeah, huge. huge. Again, a little fly on the wall moment. Josh was new to the Mariners, and I was walking through the clubhouse early before a ball game. And in the clubhouse, they have an area with couches and TVs, and there's Josh and Tucker, just the two of them watching TV together.
Yeah,
this was early September or late August, somewhere in there. It was just great scene. So when Josh spoke so fondly of Tucker, I said, "Hey, I kind of caught a moment between the two of them."
That has to be pretty rewarding for you to see the Josh Naylor press conference last week, and obviously, Baseball Ops plays the biggest role in that, but. The fact that the Mariner organization made him feel as welcomed as he did and make him want to sign like this, that has to, extend beyond baseball ops to the entirety of the organization.
Yeah. And, I appreciate that. But you touched on it earlier. The connection with the fans in the city, that really made an impact on Josh. And our fans immediately embraced him. And he made tremendous impact on the field, but our fans connected with him in a way that I think he felt it, our fans felt it, and the fact that it all came together and this early in the off season, again, just sets us up for great success.
All right. Well, again, mariners.com/tickets is where to go. Kev, thank you. Congratulations. It was a great season, and it's fun to be able the day before Thanksgiving to just kind of think back on some of the fun memories. Did you have a favorite game? I didn't even ask. I should have asked.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite game?
Favorite
moment.
I had
favorite game?
I had a couple, but one is deeply personal. It was the morning of Game 5. It was my dad's 96th birthday. So I'm driving over the I-90 bridge. It's very early in the morning. I call my father, and we have a conversation. And now they live in South Florida. My mom is 88, dad's 96, and they're the biggest Mariner fans in South Florida going. They're staying up late. They're watching all the games down the stretch. And I said, "So, Dad, how do you feel about?" And I get my love of baseball from my parents, both of them. And I said, "How do you feel about tonight?" And he goes, I got a good feeling. He goes, I got a really good feeling about Gino Suarez tonight. He goes, "I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 4 home runs." I said, "Dad, let's settle down.
I would be.
Let's get a little aggressive. 4 home runs." So it's the Gino's first at bat, and I share with the person sitting next to me. I shared the story, and I said, "Come on, Gino, do it for Dad on 96, his 96th birthday." Next pitch,
Bang.
Mike. Next pitch.
That's amazing.
It goes into Edgar's Cantina, and then, of course, Gino hits the granny to win it. So that game, that moment, that conversation with my dad, that will stay with me forever. But a sneaky game was the game in Houston on the Victor Robles catch, because that was such a huge moment. We had won the first game in Houston, I believe, and then to win that second one, to win the series and gut punch them. I remember reacting rather loudly to that catch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you punch anyone around you?
No,
in the
I didn't
arm?
punch
'Cause
anybody.
I've seen you do that before.
Interestingly enough, I was in a corner of the ballpark that night. We had the Savannah Bananas in the ballpark. So I was at the ballpark. The game got tight, and I chose to remove myself from anybody. So I was by myself watching that moment, and let out a loud exclamation of joy, and it was that game.
Well, there were a lot of opportunities for those type of exclamations this year. Congrats on a great season.
Thank you. Thanks
Continue
for having
good
me.
luck for next year.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody here at 710 for the support this year. And we can't wait to get down to Arizona and get it going again. So I look forward to seeing you down there as well.
Sign me up. There's Kevin Martinez, and that is an incredible season for his first year as the president of the Mariners. And pretty darn cool. Happy Thanksgiving.